Well, here we go. I'm here. I'm back. I've been busy the last few days with Christmas shopping, and first of all, it's Christmas Eve. And I hope everybody's having a Merry Christmas with tonight and all the festivities that you may be having tomorrow with your family and friends. So we got a kind of a weird way we do Christmas around here. Um, so my two boys, with everybody's work schedule, so every year, a few days before Christmas, which usually we have to do it on a Tuesday or Wednesday, to where certain people's days land off of work. I know it's weird, but this is how we do it. Unless next year somebody else's day's off on a different day, and we'll figure that out. But so we had our Christmas dinner and exchanged gifts last night, and we always have a Chinese Christmas. We got it from because we love the Christmas Story. So, at the end of the movie, rah, 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 rah. No, you're doing it wrong. Sing, no, sing something else. So, we love that we have a Chinese restaurant here where we live, and it's a buffet, and we really like it. We really enjoy it. So, every Christmas we have Chinese, our Chinese Christmas dinner. And then we come back to the house and we exchange gifts. And then my older son goes off with his gal. He's got a gal, and goes off with his gal. And then I have a niece, and she has a lot of family. Well, it's part of my family too. But my other son, younger one, goes over with her. So he went today. I took him this afternoon. So he's going to go over there. They went to church tonight, which they're still there right now. It's 7 p.m. I'm working on this video. And then even the last few days I've been busy though, and maybe I could have did a video, and then I was like, well, the news has been so bad. And I was like, it's Christmas time. I didn't want to do a video on negativity stuff. But I had a few family members. One of my family members, Jennifer, she's been like, haven't you done a video? I've been looking for you to do a video. So I thought, okay. So I just got finished with dinner. I took my other younger one over to her house. They went to church. And then with my brother-in-law, we threw a couple of games of darts. And I got my butt kicked, by the way. But I was close. I was close. I did good, though. I did good. He beat me by maybe a couple of throws, but that last game was pretty brutal. I got my butt kicked at darts, though. But it was fun. I had a good time. A good time doing that. So I threw some darts with him because him and his wife, they went to church this morning. So my niece is taking my other boy and her family, her daughter, and them, and they're all going to church tonight. And then tomorrow they're having a big old breakfast. She does a big breakfast every year for Christmas. They've got ham and biscuits, all kinds of good stuff. Look, I can't eat any of that. I've told y'all before, if anybody's watching my channel, I have food allergies. So I was like, I am not going to go over there and be subjected to smelling and seeing and hearing everybody eat this wonderful food. So I went over there today to drop him off this afternoon. My God. She made homemade brownies that were on the counter. There were homemade sausage balls. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And that was just to name a few. And she's making all of this wonderful stuff that they're going to be having tomorrow and all of this. So I'm not going over there. And I don't go over there for Thanksgiving either. I have to make my own and eat it here. I love y'all from a distance. And it's all wonderful. It is all wonderful and in good fun. Up in your left-hand corner, as you see, ladies and gentlemen, we have some live footage, which it won't be live when, you watch this later. But it's live footage of Santa making his rounds around the world. this evening and delivering presents. And I'm having a cup of decaf, by the way. So it's like an after dinner yummy, some yummy decaf. After dinner, yummy decaf, which I got started late on dinner. And then I was sitting here going, well, should I do a video? And then I'm like, okay, let's just do something. Like I heard another content creator. He says, man, all you got to do is just show up. Well, I'm showing up. Here I am. I wasn't sure if I wanted to. I mean, I wanted to, but it's like, what am I going to cover? And then I've seen some other people live, thought about going live. And then I saw some what other people are covering and what they're talking about and things like that. And it's, whatever. But if you are alone on this Christmas Eve, you are not alone. Jesus Christ is with you. And this is why we celebrate Christmas, is the birth of Jesus. And I'm going to say this. He came here to die on the cross. That was his purpose, to die and save us from ourselves because we know not what we do. And we need to be very thankful for that. And you're not alone because Jesus is with you if you let him. He will always be with you and you will not feel alone. Even if you are alone, you won't be alone and you shouldn't feel alone because Christ is with you. And I hope everybody remembers that. And if anybody stops and watches this video, you're not alone. You're definitely not alone. In fact, I'm going to say it. Subscribe or don't subscribe, but keep coming back to my channel. Maybe you'll learn something and you could be part of this family. And I'd be more than open arms and welcome anyone who wants to be part of Rochelle Emerson's family. Yay. We got a lot of cray-cray in my family, like in my real, literally family. This is my YouTube family, which I love all of you guys. And thank you for subscribing and hanging in there with me. And while I'm navigating through the waters to find my way how to do stuff, I'm still learning how to work this OBS, y'all. I don't know how to make things all nice and fancy and bringing it up and just finding the time to, I did have to look at some tutorials on how to operate just what I've been doing. But there's some more stuff that I want to learn. I need tech support. I need tech support. Anyway, I found a couple of stories that are like Christmassy, I guess, and there's some garbage stories and like, okay, what do we want to talk about? What do I wanted to go over? Well, here's a story of a nativity scene fight erupts in South Carolina town after mayor's takedown order. So we've got us a Grinch, a real life true Grinch. This mayor. And look, yeah, it's on the public property, but so what? So what? Right? Wait, what is Christmas? Anybody? Why are we celebrating Christmas? And it's not just to give presents away or to have a Black Friday sale and all this gobbledygoo. I did start to hate Christmas a while back only because it got so commercialized and it seems like it just got too secular and stuff. It's not that I hate Christmas itself. I hate what has become of Christmas being just a money thing where, like I told my son, I know he doesn't have a lot of money. I said, don't buy me nothing. I said, get your bro something, right? But I don't need any. You just coming and having dinner with me is the best Christmas present I could get. Right? You're safe, you're good, we're fellowshipping together. That's what it's all about, is spending time together, not necessarily that you have to spend a bunch of money, right? Because you don't, people. You really don't. The older you get, you recognize that. When you're young, because I felt like that when I was young. It's like, oh, I got to get this person, this person, this person. I got a list of all the family members I got to get something for. And it used to be very stressful. And then, I don't know, it just, over the years, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? This is not what Christmas is about. I don't have the money to do all this, and I could just give somebody a Christmas card. Oh, I didn't send out Christmas cards this year, y'all. This is the first year in over a decade I did not physically write out and send out Christmas cards. I was coming up the stairs like 3 or 4 nights back, and I was like, I didn't do Christmas cards. What is happening? I totally forgot about it, spaced it. So I'm just going to message everybody and say, look, I'm sorry I didn't get the cards this year, which is the first time forever. If y'all are looking for the card, because I always send one. I've been so busy with him at school and basketball season, and he's been having these practices, and they've had, he's in the band as well. He's had Christmas programs playing in the band, and then stuff at the school, and I just totally forgot. Totally spaced doing Christmas cards. And I am so sorry if anybody's watching this, family members. I am sorry. I don't know. I just got busy, and I had been doing up until Thursday. I had done videos every day, and then having to, after doing that, then go run errands, get him basketball, either practice or games, and it's just been busy, busy, busy. And then had to go do all this shopping, and then I was thinking all I have to go do, and then I have no excuse, right? I have no excuse. Only thing I should be thankful for is that I actually have something to do. Like, you sit around and you're like, man, I don't want to do nothing. Right? I don't want to do nothing. I just want to kick it. Right? I don't feel like doing nothing. But over the years, I've come to find out that I'm thankful when I have things to do. Because you need things to do to keep you busy. Whether it's just get up, make your bed. That's what Jordan Peterson says. You're going to do something. Just get up. Get up. Get up. Make your bed. Then look around. What next? If you need to clean your kitchen, go clean your kitchen. Go do something. Get organized. Do something. Find something to do. Do a little at a time. Do that each day. Just do a little at a time until you get it done. And y'all know what I mean. Some of you, like, things pile up. Maybe the house gets away from you because you're busy. The house gets away from you. Do something each day. Do something. Tackle the kitchen. It's like, okay, I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna make my bed. Now I'm gonna go tackle the kitchen. Then maybe another day, tackle the living room. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Clean out your car. Whatever it is. Just stay organized. You'll feel good about it. You'll feel really good about it. That everything's organized, you know where things are. And just make good habits. Make good habits. I see Santa still going around and around and around, and why is he just going over the ocean? Why is he doing that? What is happening? All right, I paused it real quick, and I found another one. It's going over. That one's got 17,000 people watching it. Watching that live here on a Wednesday night. So I guess enough of me yapping about blah, 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 but blah, blah. I hope everybody's having a good time with their families and stuff like that. And absolutely, and having some good eats. Wow. Let me know how good the food is that you get to eat so I can just think about it. I mean, I made some potatoes tonight. I had some organic string beans, and I made grass-fed hamburgers. That was my dinner, and I enjoyed it. It was good. It was good. It wasn't bad. And then I'm following up with some decaf. But, oh, man, I'd love to have some ham and all that other stuff. I'd get big as a house. I'm going to tell you right now. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time that I can't eat all of this stuff because, oh, man, I love food. I just love food. And I would definitely, I'd be tearing it up. And I'm not one for exercising either. So it's probably good I'm not being able to stuff my face with all of this stuff. Right? Let's get that going. Okay, let's see here. Let's jump in and get a few articles going.
Is defying its mayor to protect their nativity scene. Kimberly Bird, head of the Beautification Committee in the town Mullins, decorated the city's new marketplace with this beautiful nativity scene. But she later received a text from the mayor telling her to take it down, citing concerns for residents of other faiths and beliefs. Despite this, Bird has chosen to keep the scene in place. She says, quote, "Christmas isn't about Santa. It's about the birth of Jesus Christ." Right. Now, the mayor defended her position, citing the structure should only be removed from the public parking area. Quote, she says, "The reason for this is the separation of church and state applies to municipalities as well regarding religious symbols on public property and parks. We are a community composed of various ethnicities and religious beliefs."
There is nowhere in the Constitution or anywhere that says there has to be a separation of church and state. It's something that the founders said that they can't, deny anybody the right to any kind of religion or over another religion. It doesn't mean that there has to be a separation. It just means that pretty much what I just said. But this woman, this mayor, is a piece of excrement, right? She is the Grinch trying to steal Christmas. Oh, she's going to offend other religions? Who cares? This is America. You're going to have a nativity scene, have a nativity scene, for Pete's sake. This is why we're celebrating Christmas, not just so Macy's and Walmart and Amazon can have sales. No, it's not for that. It's where we're celebrating his birth, that he came here and died for us for our sins. They hate it. This woman must despise being in America, and she despises Christianity. Her heart has been hardened, obviously.
Lisa, so what is Christmas without Christ?
Well, exactly. And I would argue, which I believe the Supreme Court has upheld this previously, that a nativity scene is just as much part of Christmas as Christmas wreaths or Santa Claus, right? It's become part of our culture.
No. It's not part of it. It is it. I'm going to say that. The nativity scene, it is it. No, the wreaths and the tree and all of this other stuff is just some frou-frou around what is the core reason. And that is the birth of Jesus Christ. The nativity scene, there should be just a nativity scene. It's not just that's part of it, it is it. Okay, I just wanted to emphasize that very clearly.
And part of the culture of Christmas as well. I think the mayor here, who is a Democrat, which makes a lot of sense because we have seen a lot of hostility towards Christianity from the left.
Are we surprised?
Is out of bounds here on this issue. My understanding is no one complained. It was just the mayor proactively. And there's also some nuance here as well, because you have the...
So the mayor's like, oh no, we might offend somebody. Some other religion is going to get offended. And what other religion would that be, ladies and gentlemen? It wouldn't be the Jews. Nope. So who would it be? Ah, that's right, the Muslims. Islam. Run from Islam. It would be them. Yeah, it would be them.
The Mullins Beautification Committee, this has been privately funded, the display that they have there. It is on public grounds, but, so there's some nuance there as well. But so I think this is an overreach by the mayor. And I'd be interested in hearing what you have to say about Lynch versus Donnelly as well.
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on for a second, because this, Rosanna, I'm going to you next. This is not about who's a Democrat, who's a Republican. This is about the baby Jesus. This is about his birth. We're celebrating his birth. So, Rosanna, what's your take on this? I mean, is it just too much at this point?
I think it's too much, but this is what I'm kind of looking at, the general picture of it. Why do some expressions get exemptions and others do not? For example, social justice murals are allowed. Political protests are allowed. John, I know I'm going now on your legal ground, but I'm just throwing out things out there. You know, so the kids are allowed to sing Christmas songs in school. Well, that's all part of celebrating Christmas. Why are some things allowed, other things are not?
I agree. And John, since Lisa and both Rosanna cited some legal issues here, how do you see this?
I want to talk about your mom some more.
She still scares me.
We'll go to a lesser institution, the Supreme Court. So this mayor, he is part, or she is part of this older hostility to religion, which the Supreme Court has actually fought against these many years. This idea of the separation of church and state, that's not in the Constitution. This mayor ought to go back and read the Constitution. What it says is the government cannot establish a religion. It doesn't say the government must exclude all religions from the public square.
That's what I tried to say.
And so the case that Lisa mentioned, or the examples you've mentioned, the answer that the Supreme Court has given is don't drive nativity scenes out, let everybody in. So you can have a Christmas display, you could have a Jewish Hanukkah display. Sure. That's the right answer, is to have a public forum where everyone is allowed to put up their religious celebratory symbols. And the government's not there to pick and choose which ones are acceptable or not. So the Christmas scene is constitutional, it's legal. Actually, the mayor coming in and saying, kick it out, and probably let in all the other ones that he or she favors, is going to violate the Constitution. And so I think actually now the Supreme Court has properly understood the First Amendment to be much more welcoming to religion, to stop the exclusion of the religious from the public square.
But Caroline, isn't this, it's a Christmas marketplace. Isn't this about community and getting together for the holidays and a warm feeling? It's not about any sort of constitution or any sort of state or federal laws. I mean, can we not just break it down to the basics again?
Right, you could argue it's just an artistic display. And of course, there's much on the legal side to be discussed here. But we at National Review are all pretty American political theory nerds over there. We know a lot about the founding history, and a lot of our elected officials do not, including mainly the Democratic ones. This mayor invoked the separation of church and state. And it's always amazing to me how many use that phrase without knowing the basis of it. It's not appeared in the it doesn't appear in the Constitution. It was in a letter that Thomas Jefferson sent to a religious group of Baptists. And basically, to John's point, it's not about coercion. Nothing in this nativity display has a coercive element to it. We're not asking those who observe the nativity display to convert to Christianity right there on the spot. We're not asking them to declare themselves as Christians or to do anything or sing anything. It's just there for viewing purposes and to honor the reason for the season, which is Christ. Now, if there were a coercive element, like in the Maryland case that went to the Supreme Court, which prohibited, or rather it required, that schools teach stories with LGBT elements, and there was no opt-out for families that had religious objections.
What?
Now, that's something to get up in arms about, because that's a mandate. That's a coercive element right there. There's nothing that is mandate about this nativity scene.
Exactly, and to be clear, because we are all, we agree that let the nativity scene stay. So we're not disregarding other religions, absolutely not. But the bottom line is more people, here's the real answer. Go to the Christmas market and drink the Glühwein. Lighten up. Okay. All right, let's move on to this.
Hey, everyone.
Lighten up. Again, Christmas is the birth of Christ. This is what we celebrate. What does everybody think Christmas is for? The libtards. Do they even celebrate Christmas? Do they exchange gifts? Do they put up a Christmas tree? Or maybe they do all that, but they don't want to have nothing to do with Christ. Nothing. So she was saying, bring up why we should be open arms about what they're teaching our kids in school about alphabet soup crap. And then I came across this on X. Elon Musk just typed in seriously. And then this Seth Dill says, Democrats, we must stop the spread of disinformation. And then it's like, in my daddy's belly. What the hell is that? What is that? What is this? What is happening? Good night, for Pete's sake. This is just retarded. Well, we discovered the Grinch, the mayor in North Carolina. Let's take a look at, let's see what's happening on X. I thought this was funny. I like Mark Levin, by the way. Yeah, I said it. He does that a lot. He says Megyn Kelly is disgusting fraud and hateful propaganda. She need not condemn Candace Owens because she is Candace Owens. Oh, man. This is unbelievable, right? Guys, y'all can think for yourselves, but I would highly recommend taking Candace Owens, Megyn Kelly, and Tucker Carlson with a grain of salt. And in fact, don't even take that. Don't even take that. They are dangerous propagandists who are spewing. They're. I don't know. I don't know what in the world they got against Jews, but apparently they do. And apparently Tucker Carlson just wants to live in Qatar. Apparently his company he has, ladies and gentlemen, they gave him money to start that. So what does he do when he was on the stage at AmFest? He brought up Israel. He's bringing up, we shouldn't hate Muslims. It's not that we hate Muslims, Tucker. Let me break it to you gently. Break it to me gently. Remember that song from back in the day, you old folk out there? It's Islam is the problem. Islam is the problem. Their religion is the problem. And they are not going to assimilate in America. They are not going to assimilate in the UK. They are not going to assimilate in Germany or France. Look at the problems they're having in those other countries because they've been letting it get out of check. But some of those countries I just mentioned, besides the UK, are starting to do something about it. If you're not going to assimilate, you need to go away. You need to go away. And they had made threats to the people in the UK not to have, like somebody had said on one of the TikTok things, like, don't go, you shouldn't be celebrating Christmas and having all of this stuff. Like, what? That's a form of terrorism. It is definitely a form of terrorism to say anything. They need to go. I don't know what's going on with their government. They have a parliament over there, which they don't even have that much power. Anyway, they have another side thing on the side telling everybody what they need to do. And there's a bunch of libtards. They just want to destroy the country. Y'all know who Terrence is? If you don't, you need to check him out on X or check out his YouTube page. He says, "I will not apologize for being a white man." Look, there's Terrence. I will embrace my skin color. Yes, I'm white. Let's get him some more in there. I'm white. The Democrats said I'm not black anymore because I support Trump. I did give him a like. I gave him a like. Isn't that hilarious? That hilarious because he's a conservative. So nope. You're not black anymore because you don't support. You're not supporting the liberals. You're just not supporting them. This guy, it says this loser was awake at 2:17 a.m. posting this garbage. His TDS has become increasingly dangerous to himself and to others. And there's just been this thing, I don't know if y'all know when I talked about it before, it's called Starve the Grift. So this person, Brian Kastenstein, what is he, German? I don't know. That's just a weird name. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. I don't even care. But anyway, he gets a lot of posts from people, right? Because like he would say something fallacious, and then a bunch of conservatives would jump on his post, and they're commenting on it, and they're doing all this. Well, a lot of people are like, this one guy's like, hey, stop posting on his stuff. Just screenshot his stuff, and then we can post on it on somebody else's and talk about it, right? Because we want to starve his grift. Now, he might be just saying salacious things to get people to post and like, and he makes money on X from doing this. So this guy says Trump is a dead man walking. America should put him to sleep now. It's the humane thing to do, and he should probably be arrested for that. He should be arrested doing that. Let's see. It's now come out that Somalians, this is crazy, y'all, has been buying homes in Minnesota to use as home care. And they sit empty and then bill the state millions per year. Now, look, Somalians are a third world country. If you look at the graphs, they're like 80 down and 80's pushing it. 70 is considered retarded. We're talking about IQ. But dad blame. Somebody figured out how to steal. And I think that I heard somebody was talking the other day about, and in their culture, that's what they do. They're fraud. They steal because they can't build nothing. Their country's a crap hole. So, and looky here, 45 homes are confirmed. Somalians figured out the perfect plan on how to scam Minnesota taxpayers. This is crazy. This is crazy.
To tell me about another. Here in Minnesota, a local realtor reached out to me to tell me about another way that Somalians are scamming Minnesotans out of their taxpayer dollars. In her community alone, Somalians have bought up over 455 homes. They buy these homes, claiming they're turning these homes into home health care centers. She says the way we know Somalians have bought these homes is because all of a sudden, extremely nice cars start showing up. Mercedes, BMWs, the nicest cars are parked in the driveway. And she said, by law, the state will not come out and inspect these homes and make sure these homes even have clients living in these homes.
What?
She also said, as a realtor, she cannot disclose to people wanting to buy homes in this neighborhood that Somalians have bought that home and they're using that as a home health care center. She said these homes can even take people in who've just been released from jail, and the neighborhood does not need to know about this. But she says many of these homes do not even have clients in them. But the state is writing them checks every month for the clients that the Somalians say are in these homes. And these Somalians are making millions of dollars off of these homes every year. The Somalians have figured out exactly the perfect plan as to how to scam Minnesota taxpayers out of their money. They are banking on this, making millions of dollars. And the government here in Minnesota is too lazy to go and check it out and to see if there's even clients living in these homes. The fraud in Minnesota is so deep. Let me know your thoughts on this one.
That is insane. That is just insane, right? They figured out how to scam what? The
Somalians are
SNAP. Feed the children. Because it's always about the children. This goes so deep. So what? They built SNAP program for millions of dollars. So, hey man, we'll just go buy some houses and we can scam more. That scam just keeps rolling, scam on top of scam. Merry Christmas. There is music playing on this, so I can't play it because he's talking. But basically, this is a Muslim preacher in the UK is very angry about Christmas and says that Christmas celebrations should be banned because they cause Islamophobia. Really? Guys, we can never let this come here and let them dictate to us because we allowed the gays and we allowed the transgender. We allowed the woke to get away with a lot of stuff, and now we've been pushing back. Actually, we've passed a bill through the House to not mutilate our children or give them puberty blockers, but it still needs to go through the Senate. So we need to pray that can be the law of the land. You got to be 18 and older to go and just butcher yourself if that's what you want to do. I think it should be 25. Because scientifically, your brain is not fully developed as far as all the stuff firing. Your, what do you call that? Your impulse. Younger people are impulsive. They act on the moment. And then after you're 25, that kind of clears up and You know, we all wake up and go, my God, was I stupid? Like when you're 30. But anyway, it's better than a 15-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 12-year-old, or parents doing their small children, giving them puberty blockers, which is insane and demonic to me. But we need the pushback, and I tell you what, whatever happens over in the UK, that stuff comes flying over here, and we need to be careful. We cannot let them tell us we can't celebrate Christmas. That's just retarded. Holy crap. The mayor of Paterson, New Jersey, declares that it is an American city that is not. It is not an American city. It is a Palestinian city. Paterson is the capital of Palestine in the United States of America. Holy cow. We need to put a stop to this, people. This is insanity. All right, we're going to see if we can watch this video of Matt Walsh. Why is Christmas music so god-awful now? He thinks he knows the reason. He knows the reason. We were in the store the other day, and there was me and my younger son. We were in the store doing some shopping, and there was a Christmas song playing, but it wasn't the artist who originally sang the song, and we knew what song. It was a song by I Like George Michael. God rest his soul. I know, but he did a Christmas song. And I really liked it, and he does too. We really like his Christmas song. What is it? Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. The very next day, you gave it away, or whatever like that. That's part of the chorus, and it's a cute little song. It's nice. In fact, I think it did hit #1, but it took a while because I think at the time Mariah Carey's song "All I Want for Christmas Is You" came out, which was a huge hit and still is today. But so I'm realizing what the lyrics are, and I guess he did too, and I just looked over at him and we looked at each other and went, what is happening? What is happening? Why is this person doing this song? Now, I know a lot of artists redo songs, but it's like somebody should have told her, because it was a female vocalist on there. Somebody should have said, no, this isn't the one for you. Stop it. Stop. Just stop singing that song right now. Because we were like, what? It was terrible. It was terrible. Oh, man. It was hilarious. We kind of started laughing. Like, what is happening?
Radio stations and streaming services are still broadcasting the song "The Christmas Shoes," which is the single best argument against the First Amendment.
Oh, this is terrible.
Perhaps has ever been made.
This is terrible.
Any civilized society would have.
Okay, I'm going to speed this up I just sped it up just a little bit. I don't want to get a copyright.
Imprisoned everybody responsible for that song and
It's not
banned
too
it
bad.
many years ago. And in case you're unfamiliar with it, the song is about a guy who's in a bad mood. He's doing Christmas shopping, and then a kid who's dressed in ragged clothing goes up to the checkout line with a bunch of pennies. He tries to buy some Christmas shoes. Tells the clerk that his mother's dying and he wants to buy her shoes so that, she looks beautiful for Jesus. Listen.
Sir, I want to buy these shoes for my mama, please. It's Christmas Eve and these shoes are just her size. Could you hurry, sir? Daddy says there's not much time. You see, she's been sick for quite a while, and I know these shoes will make her smile.
Now, already there are a couple of problems here beyond the very bad and melodramatic singing. First of all, if you're buying shoes or anything, there's no reason to tell the clerk why you're making the purchase. Like, nobody does that. The clerk's job is to process the transaction. That's it. Doesn't really care why you're buying it, unless you're buying the ingredients for a pipe bomb or something. There's really no explanation needed. And secondly, the song is outdated at this point. No kid is going to be counting pennies in the checkout line because we don't make pennies anymore. And everyone's using Apple Pay anyway. Now, admittedly, back in 2002 when this song came out, that wasn't true, but it was still considered a pretty big faux pas to make everyone wait while you, quote, counted pennies for what seemed like years. And it's an even bigger faux pas when you come up short after all that. And third, what kind of person, child or not, thinks that people get to keep their shoes in the afterlife? I mean, is the kid's mom a pharaoh? Is this ancient Egypt? What pyramid is this woman being buried in? So at this point, even if you put aside the absurdity of wanting to dress up your dying mother, everyone in line should be furious with this kid. But then it gets worse. As Patton Oswalt observed, the kid eventually makes it clear that he's a total scam artist. He turns to the guy standing next to him and demands that he pays for the shoes. Watch. Now, if this pair of shoes costs $50, which in 2002 is a decent amount of money and presumably enough to buy shoes that wouldn't get you kicked out of heaven on the spot, then we're talking about 5,000 pennies that this kid was counting. As the narrator says, it felt like it took years. Now imagine watching that, and then the kid hits you up for more pennies. This is where you say politely but firmly, no. And you certainly don't pay for the shoes and then declare that you've discovered the true meaning of Christmas, which is how the song ends. But if you look into it, you'll find that this song was wildly successful. In fact, it was so successful that it was somehow turned into a movie and a book series. Yes, a movie and a book series.
Oh, my God.
Hollywood treated this Christmas shoes song like it was The Hobbit. They apparently got robbed.
Now, wait a minute. I was thinking they wrote the song for the movie, but it was the other way around. I'm sorry, I thought it was funny when he said that it was just the right size for my mom's feet. Well, maybe it's because nobody knows the true meaning of Christmas. Or when you die, you can't take nothing with you. And we're celebrating the birth of Christ to save us from our sins, which is the most important, is that she would need to be saved, right? I don't know. I mean, but when he said in the song, they were the right size for my mama's feet. Something to that effect. I was like, sorry, I just thought it was funny.
Bob Lowe to play the angry guy at the store who makes the poor kid happy. And in doing so, they provided a very important illustration of a phenomenon I want to talk about today, which is the decline of Christmas songs and movies. And conveniently enough, the Christmas shoes illustrates the decline in both of these areas. So here's the trailer for the Christmas shoes to give you some idea of how bad things have become starting around the turn of the century.
A special pair of shoes will lead their paths to cross.
You would have really liked the show. I wish you were there.
You're $5.50 short. Come back after New Year's, we'll probably be giving them away.
Too late, David.
This Christmas, two families will test their faith in themselves.
Thanks, mister.
And discover the magic that is the Christmas shoes.
It wasn't that they find Christ. Oops.
They say clothes make
It's not that they found the Lord. Nope, they found
the
shoes.
legacy button.
Now, again, this was back in 2002, and Christmas movies have only deteriorated from here. There hasn't been a good Christmas movie in over 30 years. None of them appear to have any understanding of Christmas, which is a pretty big problem for a Christmas movie. There's been an uptick in I hate my family or I got a divorce, so this Christmas is going to be weird type of films.
Yeah.
Which, that's like Home Alone, which is a good Christmas movie, but they can't all be centered around that. The stakes are usually over the top, where the fate of Christmas itself is on the line, and there's often, unnecessary violence as well. Take your pick. Bad Santa, Red One, Elf. It's not exactly a Christmas Story. It's a Wonderful Life. Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah.
Now, for what it's worth, Elf was originally supposed to be much raunchier, sort of like a Christmas-themed version of Old School, and that's what the studio wanted. Jon Favreau was fortunately able to prevent the studio from making that change, but the movie is still quite bad. So when did this trend change, and why? For Christmas songs, it's a very measurable decline. The vast majority of the most popular Christmas songs, which made the Billboard Holiday 100 or the most played holiday songs, were written between 1942 and 1994. So starting around 30 years ago, the music industry suddenly became incapable of producing a worthwhile Christmas song. And part of the explanation we can assume is similar to the reason that TV shows and movies have declined in quality. Writers in the entertainment industry are mostly obsessed with political messaging, most of which is explicitly anti-Christian. Doesn't exactly translate into creative writing about Christmas. And more importantly, there are only so many Christmas songs that can really exist from a practical perspective.
I mean, that is so true. I was talking in a video I did last week or sometime. I was like, all the new stuff is garbage. Garbage. And I mean, what woke is gone. I would hope that woke is gone, right? And Hollywood wakes up, and because we don't want to. They've been having box office flop after box office flop because they pushed these woke characters, female characters that are too much bigger than life. Not everybody can be Wonder Woman. All right. No, they can't. Wonder Woman's OP. I'm all about some Wonder Woman, but not every show. What is the Star Wars Ahsoka? There was a scene in it where one of the main characters gets thrusted through the midsection with a lightsaber, and guess what? They survive. Nope, Han Solo gets stuck with the lightsaber around the same area, and he dies. In fact, he just gets tossed over the side. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, we are so stupid. I mean, I hope you guys are paying attention to this stuff when you're watching movies, how dumbed down the dialogue is in a lot of these movies. And it's all garbage. And what, they can't do a true Christmas show? No. Now, look, I love Home Alone, and I like Christmas Story. But he's right. Some of these are like Bad Santa and all of this stuff, and there's some violence in it and all of this. And what are you teaching these kids? What are you teaching these kids? I guess you have to do that at home. Watch. In fact, my boy was just telling me he was looking forward to watching. Oh my gosh, why am I having a brain fart? He just named it. Oh my gosh. Good night. What is it? Jimmy Stewart. It's a Wonderful Life. That's it. He wanted to watch Jimmy Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life, which is a great movie. And he's 15. I was like, what? Really? That's amazing. I guess he said every year they do watch it over at my niece's house. So I guess they're going to watch it tonight or tomorrow. I'm not sure. Maybe they'll watch it tonight when they get home from church. But it's a wonderful movie. There's a lot of wonderful movies that you can watch. In fact, it's the older movies. It's the older songs because everything's been garbage.
Creative writing about Christmas. And more importantly, there are only so many Christmas songs that can really exist from a practical perspective. It's a genre of music that's only played for 1 month a year, so people don't need 50,000 different Christmas songs. No one's going to get burned out on Jingle Bells. In other words, the genre is, you could argue, is sort of full already. And therefore, rather than risk a lot of money on a new song that might bomb, most entertainers are happy to sing a cover of well-established classics, or they're happy to churn out garbage like Christmas Tree Farm by Taylor Swift, or It Feels Like Christmas by Fall Out Boy. You think a fresh start means things will be different, but it's the same system. The banks keep winning while you're stuck paying the price. Fees keep stacking up, so they're not going to. That's pdsdebt.com/watch. pdsdebt.com.
Sorry, Matt.
I guess you were right, Linus. I shouldn't have picked this little tree. Everything I do turns into a disaster. I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?
Sure, Charlie Brown. I can tell you what Christmas is all about.
Oh.
Nobody does food.
Or the holidays.
Lights, please.
Sorry.
And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. And the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not. For behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men.
That was awesome. I loved that show.
That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
Now, executives didn't want to air that. They thought it would bomb.
Oh.
It's also not what they had in mind. They were looking for more generic content, which they could use as a vehicle to air Coca-Cola content, since Coke was sponsoring the show. As one of the producers, Lee Mendelson, put it, quote, I really believed if it hadn't already been scheduled for the following week, there's no way they were going to broadcast that show. But because of the tight timeline, it did air. It used actual child actors for voices, didn't have a laugh track, featured a jazz soundtrack, all choices that were considered extremely unconventional and risky at the time. In the end, of course, Charles Schulz was vindicated. And so was one of his animators, Ed Levitt, who had insisted it would be, quote, the best special he'll ever make. The show is going to run for 100 years. Now, normally when an unconventional production with a unique message proves to be successful, executives try to emulate it. But the Charlie Brown Christmas special proved to be an aberration. By 1987, this kind of Christmas messaging, the kind that unironically, sincerely reflects the meaning of Christmas, was replaced by propaganda from spiritual humanists. This was the message of the Muppet Family Christmas, for example. See if you can spot the difference.
What's Christmas? Yeah. Oh, don't you have Christmas?
No.
Oh, that's when you gather together with the people you love and you wish each other peace on earth.
Oh.
Oh, we have a time like that.
Yes, we do. As a matter of fact, we're celebrating it right now. You see, we give each other little presents. I'm giving Boober this nice yellow pebble.
And I gave Mookie that pebble last year.
And I gave it to Red the year before that.
And I gave it to you, Wembley, the year before that.
That pebble's been a gift 37 times.
37 times?
Yeah.
So this was the beginning of the end as far as Christmas movies and shows were concerned. It's a reflection of culture becoming homogenous, of every event or holiday being about our...
I'm so disappointed that Kermit the Frog participated in secularism and getting away and steering away from the real true meaning of why we celebrate Christmas.
General happiness, rather than any deeper meaning. By the early 2000s, South Park was producing episodes about this tension over the true meaning of Christmas, which seemed to really confuse people at the time.
We meet again, Jesus.
You should not be letting your kids watch this, even teenagers. I never let my 2 sons watch this because South Park's been out for, 30 years? I remember when this came out years and years and years ago, and I watched it. I was like, whoa, this is not for kids. But the kids watch it because it's a cartoon. They watch it.
You have blemished the meaning of Christmas for the last time, Kringle.
I
bring happiness and love to children all over the world. Christmas is for celebrating my birth. Christmas is for giving. I'm here to put an end to your blasphemy. This time we finish it. There can be only one.
Dude, this is pretty f***ed up right here.
That's pathetic.
Go, Santa! Go, Jesus!
Oh, man. One day I'll get
I think I learned something today. It doesn't matter if you're Christian or Jewish or atheist or Hindu. Christmas still is about one very important thing. Yeah, ham. No, not ham, you fat... Christmas is about something much more important. What? Presents. Don't you see, Kyle? Yeah, presents. Hey, man, if you're Jewish, you get presents for 8 days. Wow, really? Count me in. Yeah, I'll be a Jew, too. Dreidel, 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 I made you out of clay.
50 years after Charlie Brown's...
South Park is funny, but it is completely inappropriate for kids. Completely inappropriate.
Christmas, this is the kind of cartoon that children are watching. You can make the case that South Park has a more complicated plot. You could say it's funnier and more profane and more ironic. All that is true. But a culture that's defined by detachment and irony, that never wants to take anything seriously at a fundamental level, is very different from a culture that values authenticity and vulnerability and humility, true spirituality. It produces different kinds of people, different kinds of relationships. And ultimately, it produces Christmas movies like this.
It's Christmas. We should celebrate, they said. Just a little get-together for the employees. Have a few drinks. Blow off a little steam. Nothing crazy.
Merry Christmas, Jeremy. Great night, huh?
That makes the Christmas Shoes movie look like a Best Picture nominee.
Wow.
Christmas content has gone from authentic and memorable to trite and tacky to openly profane and disturbing. That's the trajectory. And one of the things that needs to change is that we need to establish a clear definition of a Christmas movie. It's a cliche debate at some level, but maybe we'll help to spell this out. A Christmas movie needs to take place on Christmas, obviously, or at least needs to be centered around the actual event of the actual day of Christmas, the holiday of Christmas.
I agree.
And as I've said before, there needs to be snow. There needs to be a big guy in a bushy white beard like Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings. There needs to be some statement, either expressed or implied, about the true meaning of Christmas. And it needs to make you feel merry. It needs to actually have that feeling. It can't depress you or gross you out. It can't be about averting the end of the world or the end of Christmas or the death of Santa. It needs to make you feel like a kid watching Charlie Brown in the 1960s. A country that values Christmas movies like this, actual Christmas movies, will be less annoying and much happier. They won't be mystified about the true meaning of Christmas either. And 10 years from now, they might actually remember the new Christmas movies they're watching and the new Christmas songs they're listening to. Good Christmas content, above all else, is memorable. It creates traditions. It's evergreen, appropriately enough for the winters. It's you can revisit it every year. We haven't lost the technology or the ability to return to that level of quality. We just need someone like Charles Schulz to do the exact opposite of what executives tell him to do and create something worth watching.
Yeah, I agree. What'd y'all think of that? I did the whole shoe thing. It's like we got away from what is the meaning of Christmas. And if they were, obviously, it's secularism, it's wokeism, it's socialism, communism, any kind of ism you want to throw into this pile to just crush Christianity and what? Instead of saying Merry Christmas, you have to say Happy Holidays. I'll tell you what, everywhere I went, I said Merry Christmas. And I got a big mouth, by the way. Not that I want to intentionally be rude to anybody, because I don't feel like it's being rude. Greeting somebody at the store during the holidays, I was like, Merry Christmas and have happy holidays. Because it is Merry Christmas, and you're going to be happy through these holidays, not just have a holiday. No, you say Merry Christmas. And if a liberal's standing around and good, because I won't back down. I will not back down from that. Remember a kid back in the 70s getting excited every year? You got to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, or Frosty the Snowman, or Charlie Brown's Christmas, or Wizard of Oz. It's like it was something when I was a kid back in the 70s. We got excited. Wow, and all the kids in the neighborhood were talking about it. Keep in mind, we had 3 channels. Oh, let me back that up. We had 4 channels if you count UHF. Does anybody remember the UHF? UHF channel? And oh, let me just add this too. When I was a kid, I hated PBS. Nope, didn't want to look at that. Couldn't stand Sesame Street. And I was a kid. I was little, 5, 6, 7 years old. Nope, I didn't want nothing to do with Sesame Street. And even before I went to kindergarten, I remember Mom had put it on. I was like, I don't want to watch this. I remember watching movies with her, the old black and white. This was, I think, when I came home from school, because in kindergarten, you went a half a day when I was a kid. And there would be like the movie of the afternoon or something. And it would be an old black and white, whether it was an army movie or just whatever. And I would watch that. I didn't want to watch PBS. It was terrible. But getting back to, I was excited. I don't know if any of you guys grew up in the 70s. Like, it's 1975. I was 10 years old. So we were excited to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, Jack Frost, all of those animated clay animation cartoons that came out. And, well, Charlie Brown wasn't clay animated, but loved it. All the Charlie Brown. It was just fabulous. It was fantastic. Now, what do kids have to look forward to? I don't know. I mean, we would get excited about that because now you can just put anything on at any time at your fingertips. Out of all of these, Tubi, Pluto TV, or you got Prime, or you got Netflix, or you got Disney. Don't have Disney, by the way. Don't give them any money. They're indoctrinating your children with this woke crap. Don't believe nothing they say. Nothing. Anyway, so you can have anything at your fingertips and watch it at any time. So there's nothing really exciting to get excited about because it's just there. And then your expectations just get higher and higher and higher. And that I think it's a problem, and it's sad. Yeah, okay. Obviously, progress is wonderful, of course. But remember when we were kids, guys, the older folks that are watching this, it was exciting. Especially when Wizard of Oz was going to come on. Oh, everybody. And I remember when Wizard of Oz was coming out and the other kids were talking, like, ooh, and then it becomes in color. And I'm like, what? Because we had a black and white TV. We didn't have a colored TV. So I didn't know. I mean, I had watched Wizard of Oz all the way through in black and white on a black and white TV. And then one year, I don't even know how old I was, we got it. We got a color TV. And I got excited about being able to watch Wizard of Oz and see it transform, which was really, really awesome. And in our household, my mom we'd watch the Ten Commandments with Yul Brynner and Charleston Heston, Ben-Hur, movies like this. And it was just wonderful. And obviously, she would not let us watch anything that was smutty or inappropriate and things like that. And I'm thankful for that. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to watch smutty things anyway. And even to this day, I don't want to see nothing like that with smutty, raunchy comedy, just filthy, disgusting. No. I love humor. I love funny things, but I don't want to watch it if it's raunchy and full of a bunch of tacky, talking ugly. Now look, I like Goodfellas, and yeah, you can't watch Goodfellas. It needs to have those colorful metaphors in it because it's Goodfellas. It's the mob, and I'm an adult. But wholesome TV shows, Christmas shows, what he's talking about that doesn't have violence in it, that's going to make you feel good, make you feel happy, and at least acknowledge Jesus Christ. And it's just Hollywood's just not going to do it. They're just not going to do it. Well, we can keep going on and on and on. We've gone about an hour, and I've just yapped. And remember what this season is for and what every day is for of our lives is to wake up every day and be thankful Jesus Christ died to save us because we are nothing but wretches. No man becomes to the Father except through him. You need to believe that Jesus did this for you. And yes, it is eternal when we die, wherever you go. I did a video on annihilationism, the Kirk Cameron saga. Please go check that out if you want to know more about that. Go do some studying. But remember, every day, we have to live like it's our last day. Love your neighbor as yourself. And Jesus did die and rise again for you, for me, for the world. And that's what's important. And his birth is just extraordinary circumstances. And we need to be thankful for that every day. It's like celebrating Christmas every day. Celebrating Christmas every day in that aspect of being thankful that he came here for us. Just remember that. Well, God bless everybody. God bless America. Pray for our country. Pray for your neighbors. Pray for your family. And pray for your friends that they find the Lord. And pray for our country that we can keep turning some things around. Stop this wokeness. Pray that we pass that bill in the Senate to not mutilate our children and let these states just run amok. Because states like Minnesota and California, that's what they want to do. That's what they want to do. And even Jesus told us. We know people by their fruits. And what is the fruit of these governors and these mayors and these Democrats in all of these other states? What is the fruit that they have produced? It has been rotten to the core. Rotten to the core. I just saw the fraud that's going on in California right now will blow your mind. And maybe Friday I'll do a video on it. It's insane. In fact, it makes Minnesota look like a walk-in Disneyland. Yeah. Quadruple the money. You think Minnesota was bad? There needs to be some more fire under what has just came out, what California, how much money they have lost. Billions upon billions. And they're saying it's like, maybe in Minnesota, what, 9 billion, 8 billion, something like that. In California, 20, 30, 40 billion that they've wasted on the homeless. a rail track system that they never even laid the first track. Millions spent that they didn't even lay the first track. Homelessness, Medicaid for illegals, SNAP program, you name it, the fraud is there in California. And I think that Trump should cut them off. They need to send over all their paperwork. Doge needs to get in there and investigate them. You know, I had prayed a while back that I said, Lord, I please, is there a way for all of these corrupted people to be brought out into the light, shown what wickedness that they are, and to just stomp them out, because I'm angry at them. I am angry at these Democrats, all these children that are still missing. All of them that are still missing from the Biden administration that gave these children to people. Well, it was over like 300,000 of them. And then now I think they have found even more. I heard a thing on the radio the other morning. Was it yesterday morning or the morning before? They found a couple thousand more of these children. And what? The Democrats didn't give a shit about that. They didn't even care. They didn't care about these kids. They didn't follow up on these kids. They just gave these kids to anybody without vetting these people. It's just insanity. And I want justice. I want justice. I want justice for the children. I want justice for the American people. I want God to bless our country. But God's not going to bless us if we keep embracing wokeness, we keep embracing murdering our children, if we keep embracing butchering our children, making it to where you give them hormone treatments, they'll never be able to have children. They will never be able to reproduce. And by the time they're 30, they're probably like, my God, what did my parents let me do? Because you're different. You're a different person. You have some of your characteristics, of course. But you change. You change as you get older. At least most of us do. Most of us get wiser with age, like wine. You get a little wiser. Not everybody. Not everybody. Like Robert De Niro is just a Looney Tune, right? We could name a whole bunch of old actors who's like, what the hell is going on with this? Oh, y'all know who died? What is that guy's name that was in... anybody watch General Hospital back in the day? I never did. I wasn't a soap watcher. But I do remember that it was just on the radio. It was like commercials for General Hospital with Luke and Laura's marriage. And apparently it's the highest... That episode... I think over 30 million people had watched it when it aired, right? When it first aired, like it was the most, I think to this day, it's like the most daytime segment watched in all time. The Wedding of Luke and Laura. It was like a phenomenon. I don't know when that happened. It was sometime in the 70s. A long time ago. Anyway, yeah, a long time ago. And anyway, that guy passed away. Luke, the guy who played Luke, and I'm sorry, I didn't look it up what his name is. I just saw something on it like yesterday or something, or it might have been last night. But I was watching this interview with him. Obviously, it was before he died. And they were talking to him like what he'd been doing and blah, blah, blah. Because he's like 80 years old, like 82 years old or some craziness. He says, la, da, 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 yeah, I got this. But me and my husband, I was like, what? He said me and my husband was living over here or going somewhere. I was like, whoa, stop. What? I had to back up the video. Did I hear what I thought I heard? Am I the only one who would just, because I don't always know every current event that's happening. But I was like, what? I would have never suspected he was gay. I mean, did anybody else know this? And I didn't? I mean, it's not even like I'm talking ill of the dead. I'm just saying I'm shocked, I tell you. I was shocked. I was like, what? What is this? Okay. I mean, he kept it well hidden, which I respect that. Because I never saw him, unless I missed something, Like, was he outspoken? How did he feel about all of this woke crap? I don't even know. Maybe I need to research it and check it out. But I never knew. I didn't know. Did any of you guys? Let me know. The guy Luke that married Laura, Luke and Laura from General Hospital, is gay. And he had a boyfriend, or he was married to some guy, and he was in his 80s. So did he keep this secret the whole time? Which I totally can respect that. If he kept his privacy, I wish they'd all do that. I wish they'd all just shut up. Nobody cares. What we do care about is you slinging it in our faces and putting it in our children's face. That's my problem. I wouldn't want to be walking with my young kid and seeing two guys holding hands walking through the mall, and then you got to explain something to your kid, and that should never happen. It makes me angry. It makes me angry. But anyway, Merry Christmas to everyone, and have a wonderful New Year. I think I might get on Friday. Tomorrow I'm not going to get on. I'm just going to chill tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If anything fantastic happens, yeah, maybe I'll get on and do a video about it. But it's Christmas Day, so I have nowhere to go. I'm just going to chill. Might watch. You know what? I'm thinking about watching Home Alone. I know, I'm just nerdy like that. And I'll probably watch A Christmas Story. And maybe the Jimmy Stewart movie. I might watch that one. So I might just kick it and just chill and kind of relax and enjoy. Plus, I got to get on the phone and start messaging everybody Merry Christmas. I can't be calling everybody. There's just too many of them. I got too many nieces and nephews and brothers and sisters and sister-in-laws. And yeah, it's like huge. And then I've got to I'll probably do a lot of copy and pasting. I'm going to be saying, I'm sorry I didn't send a card, so don't look for it, but Merry Christmas. And then boom, that's just going to everybody. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. That is probably what is going to happen. But Merry Christmas to all, and please have a Happy New Year and great fellowship with your family. And just know that what Christmas is really for is the birth of Jesus Christ, who came to die on the cross and rise again to save us from our sins. And amen. And have a wonderful evening.